Appreciate it.
Ty, last year we were asking you a lot throughout the playoff run about the new emotions every round and stuff like that. Now this is new for you. How are you feeling ahead of these games emotionally? And is it kind of how you expected you to feel?
No, I'm excited. This is the reason that we do this, and everybody's dreamed of playing in the finals their whole life. So I'm really excited to be a part of this and a part of this organization and this group. And I couldn't sleep after game 6, but I think part of it was due to excitement, and part of it was due to now what are we preparing for? So I'm really excited to be a part of it, and it's gonna be a lot of fun.
Curious, what's the first NBA Finals you remember watching?
That's a great question. That I truthfully remember, 2011. Heat Mavs. That's the first one I can say I really sat down and truthfully remember. And I hated Rick for that. And so, the fact that I'm here with him is it's pretty full circle. So I'm excited.
They were prohibitive underdogs too.
Yeah. No, it's definitely cool to see. And like I said, I definitely couldn't stand Rick and the Mavs in that time. So it's definitely full circle and really cool to be a part of with him. And I ask these guys questions about that 2011 run all the time, and I have since I've gotten here. And now be able to create runs of our own has been a lot of fun.
When you talk to them about that, what do you hear that you're taking something from, like something that you've been able to use?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is I think they went into that situation similar to how we've went into a lot of our playoff runs of just being the underdog, and knowing that a lot of people weren't picking them, and just kind of going into it with I don't know a better way to put it, kind of with like an effort, like fuck it mentality. Sorry, I didn't want to cuss, but I had to right there. I didn't know how to get it across. But just kind of going into it that way, and as long as the guys in our locker room and the people in this building believe, then anything is possible. So we're really excited about the challenge. It's a really good team in front of us, and no quote unquote expert or analyst is going to pick us, and that's okay. We like it better that way, and it's going to be a lot of fun.
Ty, when you first got here, you talked about obviously going to the beginning of your career, want to stay in Sacramento, you're here now. 2 years in, when did you know, okay, this feels like my team, my city type of thing? Like, was it from day one, or is that a cliche just because you had to say that because you got here on day one?
Yeah, no, I mean, I knew that getting here, I knew I was going to have to establish, myself for me to claim that this was my city or my team or anything, right? I had to prove more of myself individually and have more success, which I feel like I've been able to do. And I think that all the teams here were kind of struggling a little bit, but now we're all on the rise, and that's cool to see with the Fever doing. Hopefully the Colts can have they're planning on them having a good year this year as well. So I don't look at it that way by any means. I think that I'm a mainstay, here in India. I'll be a mainstay in this organization for a very long time, and that's exciting for me. But just to be a part of the growth here as a sports city has been a lot of fun. And, just want to continue to make more memories for Indy sports fans, and just continue to leave my legacy here. So that's the biggest thing. But yeah, when I got here, I had the dream of that and being able to accomplish that. But it definitely takes time, and I think that comes with individual and team success. And I'm fortunate enough that I've been able to have some of that. But the plan is to have a lot more moving forward. So definitely still just keep my head down and keep working.
Ty, this group has become very adept at adjusting after losses. What do you see here in practice and film work and all that keeps one loss from turning into 2 or 3?
Yeah, I think just a sense of urgency. I think we had such a poor start to the year that we kind of had to approach it like, let's just approach it one game at a time. And, every loss I think felt bigger because of what our record was at the time. And I still feel that way. Every loss feels so big because it's playoff basketball. And if you give one away, you don't want to give 2 away. So I think that's just part of the resilience of this group, but also I think the basketball minds that we have here. Coach Carlisle and our staff are really brilliant at making adjustments and continuing to adjust on the fly, which has been really big for our success. And I think that when we lose, we typically get reamed in film, and our film study just intensifies even more. And I think that leads to success for us.
Excuse me, I have a quick question.
Question on the side over there.
Question to the left.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
I can get 2 bacon cheeseburgers and fries from Culver's.
I got you. Text me your full order, please.
Thank you, Tom.
We haven't seen the Pacers in the Thunder a whole lot this year. What would you tell fans, makes this a compelling must-see TV?
Yeah, I think just 2 high-level basketball teams that play, an elite style of basketball, share the ball really well. A lot of different people can chip in. I think that's the exciting part about this. I don't want to say it's like a passing of the torch by any means, because the old heads are still here and they're still all playing very well. But definitely to see two young teams, two young organizations, fighting with a chance to win a championship, I think is a very big deal. So I think that's exciting for any basketball fans. It's a lot of fun.
Tyreek was saying that, there's been moments throughout your career when you've been doubted, you've been candid about, man, do I have it myself? And what have you learned about just how to navigate pressure, and what entices you about a chance to win a championship and be immortal after that?
Yeah, I think that's just part of being put on the pedestal and being put on and being expectations rising. It's a part of it. And I think the biggest thing is just to keep, context and things, just understand that I'm a human being. I think that's the most important thing for me, because when I do well, I think that I'm, put even higher. And when I'm not doing well, it's, you're always put lower. And people are going to say things to you that, might dehumanize you a little bit. And you can be looked at as a statistic or, just will you do well as an athlete. And I think just always keep it context in it, and just knowing where your piece is. For me, that's become my friends and family. That's become the Lord. Like, those have been two big things for me to just ground myself. And I think this is a really exciting time for me personally to have this opportunity. This is something I've wanted to do my whole life. And I think last year having playoff success in my first playoff run, and then being unsuccessful to start the season, and it really, for me, I thought a lot about, wow, maybe I took last year for granted, because I didn't know what the playoffs were going to look like as the year was going on. I didn't know if we'd be a playing team or where we would stack up in the end with how we were playing early in the year. So definitely not taking this time for granted at all. Learning to appreciate every day and remember, all these days as best as I can. The practices, we'll have the media stuff, which will, I'm sure, suck to a sense leading up to this. Apologies to you guys. You guys are all great. But no, I think just learning to appreciate that, man, and just be where my feet are. And I think, of course, it's easy human nature to set in and be like, we're 4 wins away from winning a championship. All we gotta do is this, that. We're gonna be a champion. And this is what the parade's gonna look like. It's easy to do that, but just trying to be grounded and be where my feet are and take it a day at a time, because if we're able to do what we set out to do, it'll be a really special time.
Has Pascal or Thomas Bryant, I don't know if you have any other guys who've won rings, but have they talked with you guys about what to expect and what this is going to be like?
Yeah, we talked about it yesterday in film. As far as all the distractions, all the things that come with playing in the finals. We've had many conversations with it. I've had many conversations with Pascal leading up to this, just in passing, just randomly sitting on the plane. Tell me about this game in that playoff run. I think that's part of it, and I'm really excited about it. And we just continue to create more memories and do more stuff together. And I'm sure the finals format, as far as media and all that stuff, has changed. Not that Pascal's old, and not that was a long time ago, but that was 6 years ago. So I'm sure some stuff has changed, but the main thing remains the main thing. The emotions, the energy in the building is going to be a lot of fun. And that's something we've talked about a lot, so I'm looking forward to it.
More about the building. You guys have been great road warriors. The Thunder have been one of the best home teams in the league. How have your ability to steal games, how do you think that's going to help you in the highest stakes environment you've had?
Yeah, it's exciting. I think we've had, like you said, we've had a lot of success on the road this playoff run. They've had a lot of success at home and really everywhere all year. So I think it's just about approaching a day at a time. We know the environment is probably going to, it's going to be the best road environment we've seen all playoffs. So we got to be prepared to go in there. Obviously, our organization is doing an amazing thing, bringing our full-time employees. They got a family plane that they're bringing. That's going to be a lot of fun to have our families and stuff there. So we'll have more Pacer fans in the building than we've probably had on the road all year, to be honest. But that's exciting, and it's going to be a lot of fun. And we just got to approach it the right way, the same way we've approached every game, is just controlling what we can and trying to win the margins the best way we can. So I'm excited about it.
Tell you talk about the underdog mentality. I guess you guys have spoken over the years about how almost everybody on this team has been doubted at some point in time or another. How much does that underlying factor still kind of drive you guys?
Yeah, I mean, that's reigned true our whole, for most of us, our whole careers, and this is just another stepping stone to it. We're all doubted in this series. There's not expectations for us to get here, externally, obviously. So we're just trying to approach it the right way. Just approach it the way we've approached every game, the way we approach every day. That nobody's expecting us to win except for the guys in this locker room. We believe, and I think that's the exciting part about it is, when you get to prove people wrong, that's exciting. So this is a great team that's in front of us, and it's going to be a great challenge. They're well coached. They're really, together group. The crowd's going to be amazing. It's going to be a fun challenge. But if you're to win a championship, you want to beat the best. And these guys have been the best all year, so we wouldn't want it any other way.
All right, guys, we're gonna let Miles get in here now so we can get out of here.
Appreciate your time.